All right. Hello. Why, hello there. That sounded like a crisp soda that Jenkins is opening right now.
What?
Oh, it's a lighter. I said that's.
Lighting a candle.
I said that sounds like a crisp soda that you're opening right now.
No, man, I'm done with soda.
No more
It's not.
diet soda enthusiast.
Oh, well, I'm an enthusiast, but let me tell you, I'm not a diarrhea enthusiast. So
The extreme soda is a little too extreme for you.
yeah. Whenever you're buying a soda that starts with like E XXX, you're probably going overboard. Oh boy.
Dude, this one time I drove to see my parents from Oregon, which was like a 20-ish, 21, maybe 22-hour drive, something like that. And
Boy.
the way there, and I had my dog with me at the time. I only had one at that point. So I drove, I think, like pretty much until like 2 a.m. on the way there, and then slept at like a rest stop and then drove the rest of the way. But on the way back, I just decided to drive the entire way, 22 straight hours, for some dumb reason. I don't totally remember why I made that choice. But
So you didn't stop at all for 22 hours?
I mean, I stopped to like pee and let my dog out to pee and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Oh
But
God, you had your dog with you.
I didn't sleep. And
Oh, I see. I see.
so what I did is I bought 3 or 4 monsters before I started my drive and just like drank them periodically throughout the entire drive. And by the time I was like an hour away from home, I was like legitimately having like heart palpitations and like
Yeah, no, that really
almost
happens.
hallucinating.
Yeah, that's fucked up, man. That really happens. I think I've probably told you a few times about this period, but it was when I was like first getting the opportunity to play in like qualifiers and stuff in Dota, and I was working at the same time. I was working at an insurance company in like tech web development, and I was also I was taking like summer courses as well. So I was, it's not that much, but it's like essays and a couple hours every day. So I was doing school and work and then pro Dota at the same time. And what I would do is I would come home, I would nap for like an hour, and then I would play Dota from like 5 p.m. to like 2 a.m. I would go to bed, and I would wake up at 6 a.m. and go to work. And the way that I pounded through it is I would chug like two monsters, sugar frees, of course. I'm not unhealthy. I would pound down the sugar free monsters, 2 of them every day. And man, I had to stop. Like the next co-op season that I had, like the semester, I was like, I'm just gonna co-op pro Dota. That was gonna be what my thing was gonna be. Was that I tried to get that going, but they wouldn't let me do that. So I just took like the summer off to do that, because man, it was like you feel it, like you feel your heart skipping a beat.
Yeah,
It's like
it's not
you
okay.
just get this like like it feels like you get hit,
I was
and
like
then
just so anxious, like
yeah, yeah.
like high
I mean, that
strung.
shit literally raises your heart rate. They've done research, and people have heart attacks when they're if you are doing any sort of like cardiovascular exercise, you can have heart attacks because that shit it increases your blood pressure a lot.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Not good. Tastes good though. Definitely tastes good. Big Monster fan. Big Red Bull fan too.
Yeah, if you guys want to sponsor us, let us know. Or honestly, If Madrina's Coffee wants to sponsor us, we'll be your next Shroud. We can guarantee that. Same type of viewership.
I will take any consumable sponsor. Like, give me condoms for God's sakes. You know, I'm not going to use them, but I can sell them.
There
At
you go.
least.
Did you announce it in our Discord?
No, I'm copy and pasting the replays to you quickly.
Cool.
Then I'll get right to it. You need to just relax, bitch.
Whoa, sir. That is not very nice. There, buddy.
You're used to it. You like it rough, buddy.
You see what Jeezy said in chat? He's thanking specifically you, definitely not me, for getting
What?
7K for the first time in his life.
Oh, congratulations. Oh, you're 7.2. Let me tell you, dude. I don't know how to get 8K. I got 7.8, and then I tanked, and I've not gotten past like 7,400 again. I'm a 7.3K player. That's like what my number is. That's what I'm hovering around. I can't escape that. Which
Yeah.
I suppose it's not bad because I was stuck like mid 6K for a really long time. So, you know, I'd rather be stuck at this rating. But with that being said, you know.
And what did you say was the main thing that made that jump? Because you did it really fast, right?
Yeah. I said that it was keeping basically mindset. It was like keeping a learning sort of attitude throughout the whole process, and not ever thinking that like I'm better than people or that I could, you know, I'm easily going to get 8K or whatever. Like anytime I think that, I plummet.
Mm-hmm.
Because in Dota you have to constantly be learning and relearning. Like even within a game, you need to learn when like an Earthshaker picks up a blink dagger. You know, you need to very quickly internalize that sort of information. And if your mindset is I'm better than everybody and I have an ego, you're not going to learn that stuff because you're not going to be consuming information because I don't need the information.
Right.
You know, and there's actual science on that. That's a script that I have written that I'm working on for my channel. My next fucking 2 weeks, 8 hours a day editing video.
Your next viral video,
I
my
hope
friend?
so. I
Oh
really
my
hope so.
god, we have so many replays.
We have a lot of replays today. Yeah,
Holy shit.
this is what happens when we advertise it in on videos. Good problem to have though. You know,
Yeah.
it's
We got a lot of patrons in the last week or so. There's been a lot that have joined us,
yeah,
which is cool.
pretty cool. Oh shoot, there was a dude that I needed to add to friends list actually.
Yeah.
I procrastinated that, and now he's probably sad. Where is it?
Sorry, I'm just prepping all of the timestamps right now with the heroes and the replay ID.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, there he is. Semblance. Accept request. There, I got him. All right, I'll post in the old Patreon channel. Should you
Sounds
become a
good.
patron to get your replay reviewed? If you want a replay review, if you think it would be value to you, then go
That's the
for it.
most reliable way to get one. Because especially like weeks like this week, there's probably no chance that we're gonna get to chat because we've got about 15 replays to do.
Yeah, we gotta definitely keep a look at the clock for this one because we got a lot to get through. The good news is we probably are going to be covering some duplicate issues. So
Yeah, we'll keep it to one major point and move on from that. How about that?
yeah, I think that sounds good.
All right. Well, I'm gonna hop into the first replay while you're doing that, which is from Arctic Wolf, and he is playing Rubick, position 5. He says, I felt like the laning stage went all right, but near the late game, I felt a bit useless. We were facing a Terrorblade, and we let the game go too late. I was hoping you could give me some tips on item builds and what I could have done better mid to late game. Thank you. You got it.
Yeah, okay. Item builds, mid to late game. All right, those are the good parts of the game. Hey, can you share your old dirty screen there, bud?
Yes.
Thank you, thank you. Do you have a candle lit, by the way?
I don't. I will do that right now.
You
Mine's
should.
mine's almost expired at this point. I need to get a new one.
Mine's juicy watermelon, and it
Nice.
sounds like it doesn't smell that nice, but it actually does. Like up close, it doesn't smell as good as it makes the whole room smell. If that makes any sense.
Oh yeah. I'm a
Just
fan.
adds a sweetness to the room.
Just like you, Jenkins. Just like you.
That's so nice of you to say, actually.
Caught you off guard there, didn't I?
You did, yeah. Usually it's insults and it's sexual. Sexual, penis is small, this and that. You know, your height to penis ratio, small Jenkins, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, I also have to keep it real with you occasionally.
Bastard.
All right.
All right, so we're Rubick position 5. It's 25 minutes into the game.
How do you feel about his items so far? Just based on the heroes he's playing against.
I suppose not too bad. I'm not a huge fan of bracers. I feel like that could be some Basilius headdress, that sort of thing, but it's not that bad. It's really not that bad. I'm just like nitpicking a very small detail.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I've trended away from building bracers on supports just because the aura items are so valuable and they give you stats for the first time ever, which kind of like makes them a mini bracer.
It's pretty cool, yeah. They're pretty nice, and they build into stuff.
Yeah,
Sniping.
they're just really good. And I
Pretty
don't see
good.
any of them on your other teammates, so the fact that you don't have any auras currently is definitely a problem. First and foremost.
So can you click on the tiny just out of curiosity?
Sure.
Okay, so he has a blink dagger. And click on the Earthshaker. Okay, so I would say the Ether Lens is not a priority for you in this game because you have 2 heroes that are very excellent at initiating already. So you're building into Ether Lens, which is something that helps you initiate. I mean, I suppose it also helps you steal spells from other heroes, but I would say you probably want more defensive items. Something like a Glimmer Cape, Force Staff would be a solid choice for a position 5. I think as a position 4, you're probably in the role where an Ether Lens would be the play, but in this game, wow, you've gotten like almost all the neutral items in 50 seconds. That's crazy. Ancients are nuts.
Yeah,
But yeah,
especially
I think the Ether Lens is a pretty big gold sink for just doing something that your team is already very capable of doing, which is like jumping people from a distance.
yeah, especially now that you have the telescope. I mean, it is an Aether lens essentially for you. So
Yeah, yeah.
I also think that the Aether lens it's both for stealing spells, which is probably why you're thinking you still need to buy it from a long distance, but it's more so for that initiation, that like instant lift from very far away.
Yeah, I mean, Rubick doesn't have an issue stealing spells, really. You
Right.
know, it's a very long range, and that's like fantastic thing about like Glimmer Cape, Force Staff, these things is that they also, you know, are quite fine at doing that same job as well. You just glimmer in, you force in,
Yep.
that sort of thing.
Yeah, the fact that you have no save items against an invoker terribly
Very
Jakiro
spooky.
is really scary.
Very
100%.
spooky. Yeah. So is this a win or a loss? Did we lose this one?
They lost.
Oh, okay. That's
Looks like
interesting.
Terrorblade just carried them.
Yeah. Oh, I hate when this happens. This is stupid.
Restarting the replay.
Makes you reload. Yeah, that's so dumb.
Son of a bitch.
Dude, Mohammed, what the fuck is your problem? Every single stream he's in here. Go Core Wyvern, go Core Wyvern. I already told you. Oh, don't delete him. Come on.
I timed him out for 300 seconds because
Oh.
he's just spamming our chat, man. He can talk in 6 minutes. It's not a big deal.
I like him. He's funny. He's funny, man. Right. Majority rule, though, you know, 50%, greater than 50%. So
yeah, especially when this one has a better dick to height ratio.
Yeah, you got a solid ratio going for you there. The old 4'11" to 4-inch dick ratio.
Hey man, it's how it looks on your body that matters, right?
That's true. That is true. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I skipped ahead
Earthshaker
quite a bit.
eggs. Yeah, at 37 minutes.
Uh,
Okay, so I like the Force. Like I said, I think Force and Glimmer are like solid choices, and then probably Blink. I
Yep.
don't see Ether as like that effective this game. It's just about like keeping yourself alive, keeping your team alive.
Yeah, I also don't think that Ags is really necessary. Ags is like if you're trying to carry on Rubick, and I feel like you just carry this game by not allowing Terrorblade to melt somebody in 2 seconds. I mean, he's
What are the Ag's abilities to steal even? I guess finger,
which is okay against
which is
Terrorblade.
okay, which is okay.
Yeah, Macropyre is pretty meh. The Terrorblade.
Metamorphosis. Jesus.
What is the Terrorblade Ags these days? Oh yeah.
It's the metamorphosis fear.
Oh yeah. I mean that could actually be pretty good against the
That
Terrorblade, to be
could be
honest.
okay. That could be okay.
But I still
A lot of
feel
jungling. There's a lot of jungling going on, I gotta say. I feel like you should just be pushing this mid wave. And your team is top. Like you could be standing near your team and looking to like get active, especially when you have like an ether lens. Like this Terrorblade up here, you just like lift him into tiny and then forces like BKB or force him to TP or something like that.
yeah, I mean what I'm seeing here is just probably the most common mistake I see in pubs, besides not pulling enough to control the lane, is just the inability to understand how to advance the game towards its conclusion once you've taken the first set of tier 1s and some tier 2s. Like, your team is just playing on your side of the map despite you guys having a 10k gold lead and the other team having only taken your tier 1s. Like, they don't have map control, or they shouldn't
But
have
you're
map control, but
you're
you're
giving
giving
it to them.
exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
And
So that's why you need to group with one like some subgroup of your team.
yeah.
Otherwise, nothing's ever going to happen because you're two people is not a gank. You can't do shit with two people. You should never be jungling like
Yeah,
this, in my opinion.
this is
I
actually game losing, I would say.
I would say it's like borderline griefing. If you're like a Lion or a Rubick or even like the way that you jungle on these heroes is like once per 5 or 10 minutes you kill a camp because the camp's about to respawn and you're with your team near that camp.
Yeah.
Like that's when you do it. You're never off on your own jungling. That just means you can't figure out something better to be doing in the game. And my best recommendation to you would be anytime you have that impulse to jungle, go to your team and try to figure out if there's something more effective you can be doing, because I would say 99% of the time there is. And that's what's losing you a lot of games is the periods of just doing useless shit when you could be doing something else. Like if you have to go cut waves at their tier 3 and feed, if that's what needs to be done. But that's better than jungling, and you're going to get more farm doing that and make space.
Yeah, I would say that you need to change your mentality from being like, well, my team is not pushing the waves, or my team is not like playing actively, so that allows me to also not play actively because they're not ready to go fight. Chances are, if they had somebody like in the vanguard, if they had somebody in front of them, they would feel a lot more comfortable walking up there. And as a 5,
I
a lot
agree.
of the time your job is to like be the smoke breaker. You're the person that's supposed to go in and die, tank some spells so that your team can see where all the enemy heroes are and then use their spells more effectively. And if you had like a Glimmer Cape as well as the Force Staff, chances are you can walk up a high ground, they go on you, you glimmer yourself, you force staff yourself out, and suddenly you've baited the entire enemy team into a bad fight. Maybe they pop some BKBs, maybe your team gets a nice echo slam because they can see people. Like, there's so many good things that you can do from being in the front line, especially when you build 2 bracers. Like, you have 2,000 health. You're not going to instantly die if you walk up and give your team
Usually,
vision.
usually the reason people are playing not on the enemy side is because there's nobody out. Like they feel unsafe being there.
Yes.
Like they don't realize their own ability to play in like quote unquote unsafe areas, and people will often feel a lot safer. In fact, I'd say it's actually the supports. A lot of the time, it's the support and the offlaner's job to be the person that's playing the perimeter of a zone where their team can farm. because if anybody's going to die, you want it to be a hero that's hard to kill because they're or it doesn't matter if they die, like a position 5 or a 3. So you're actually not doing your job if you're not the one that's standing at the edge waiting for the enemy team to smoke in.
Yep.
If you're an offlaner or a support. So a lot of the time, like Donnie said, yeah, it can be your fault if your team isn't playing on their side. Because
Like,
somebody's playing in front. They're pussies.
yeah, like I just wanted to highlight this moment because so you zap the line and then you walk back. Why not charge forward? Like your team's ready to fight. They want to go fight. So why don't you charge forward and give them vision to do so? If you're walking forward here, maybe you get a lift on somebody. Maybe like you actually are the person that stops the Terrorblade from being able to do this to your Shadow Fiend. Your Shadow Fiend's in the middle of everything. And if you were the person that they were popping their BKBs for, maybe the Shadow Fiend doesn't have to immediately pop his BKB in Requiem, and he can actually like come around to the backside of the fight or do something a little bit more useful than just blowing his whole load instantly and doing absolutely nothing.
Well, this is why like a Glimmer would be good, because that would help you play that, like give you the option to do that. I feel like with these items, it's actually hard for you to do that because
I agree.
you walk in, you're gonna pop in 2 hits.
Yeah, you definitely have like the like play the edges, carry Rubick, like position 4 Rubick style of items, and that's problematic for
The
sure.
big reason this hero's not a position 5.
Yeah.
Is because like this is how Rubick is played. But as a position 5, you want some Lich that runs in, pops Frost Armor, throws Chain Frost, and fucking dies. Like that's what you usually want as a position 5.
Yep, I agree. I mean, you guys are still almost winning this fight despite the fact that it was a terrible initiation, just because you're out farming them. So I assume.
I mean, it's also like they're running up into your triangle, double high ground, and
Yeah.
like popping their spells like morons. Like I think the enemy team is just making a mistake.
Yeah.
In this, like you guys are playing in your own triangle with the 10k gold lead. You're just lucky that they walked up like morons. They could have just kept farming.
I agree. All right, let's move on to the next one.
All right, I'll be right back. Oh, hey, there's Muhammad again. Yo, Muhammad, what heroes do you think people aren't playing in core roles that they should be playing in core roles?
You're enabling him, Jenkins, and I dislike you for it. Luckily for you guys, I discovered that I have a mute button on my microphone, so I can just cough as much as I want, and you guys won't get coronavirus of your earlobes.
Oh, 9 months. Broodmother.
Yep. Replay number 2. Broodmother from Silence says, one of the hardest fought games in a long time. Ended with a base race. Some early game tips and some late game tips would be very welcome.
Okay.
My guess is that you're going to tell him how to win this game before the late game. Because
Maybe.
that's probably what should have happened. And my guess is that he's going to be farming on his side of the map way too much instead of in the enemy jungle and on the enemy's camps. Because that's what I've seen you tell every single Broodmother player that has submitted a Brood replay. At this point,
Yep.
I can coach them, even though I've never played the hero.
Yeah. That's also what I'm expecting. Okay. Starting build, fine, I think. Pretty fine.
Yeah, I've seen some people go for more mangoes, but it's
just
probably...
like a shitload of mangoes. Yeah, I would say like shitload of mangoes is good against heroes that you can pressure really hard early, but like Necro is actually a decent lane against Brood. But you can like free farm in the jungle against Necro. Oh, it's Razor. Okay, that's interesting. Well, you could shit on this guy for sure, but you don't. You don't have that choice now. So I would say your web placement, like right in the middle there. I like to place my webs, both of them right at the start, like one leading to the enemy camp, and then one like into my tower. So that way I can go to that camp and just jungle it if I want.
So like kind of half in the lane and half over
Yeah,
here.
I never go and like directly put a web just in the middle of the lane because it's there's a lot of like wasted web space there if you're doing that. And that web to the right, like I mean, what am I hearing?
What are you hearing?
What are you doing, Ellie?
Oh.
She's moving the computer trying to find her chapstick. I was like hearing stuff like being dragged around. uh, yeah, I would say. I mean, it's not that bad. It's like a small thing. It's not going to be something that's like winning or losing you the game. It's just that like when you have your web placed like that, you have a very specific direction you have to run when he like sucks you.
Right. Yeah, I feel like if you have the ability to just kind of run over a cliff and stop the link almost immediately, you're probably in a much better spot, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like you just run into him, like run towards the camp or some shit.
Right.
I didn't see this, but also something you can do on Brood is not block at all, and then the wave will like push into their tower, and then it'll push into you, and you'll just get the wave under your tower, and you'll get level 2 quickly. You can also like hard block and have the same thing happen. It depends, but like with Brood, basically on the first wave, I always just right click the wave and just try to get level 2 as soon as possible because hero's garbage at level 1, so you don't even try to pressure at level 1. You just right click shit.
Right.
I would say that even applies to like just getting the level like 4, 5, 6 on Brood because this hero like with more webs and more spiders is way stronger. So I just like push the wave always.
Oh,
But yeah, I mean this
where's he? Where is he jungling? Shouldn't
enemy
this
jungle.
shouldn't this be the other camp?
Enemy jungle. Go to the enemy jungle. Yeah, you wanna jungle this dude's camp first. Because then you're close enough to the lane that you're getting XP from the lane while you're jungling.
So this is your camp that you should be
Honestly, even
dipping
if you're on
into.
the even if you're on the radiant side, like that's the camp to farm because it's like really close to the lane.
Right.
So you're gonna get the XP from both. That's how you get like an XP advantage on Brood is by farming that camp. That's why I put the web there always, like no matter what, is because that camp is the closest one to the lane. I know it's a weird thing. Like obviously, at a certain point, you want to be jungling enemy jungle camps, but just for like the first period where you're like building and being greedy, it's like I don't know. I guess an analogy is like you're not going to see like a startup company going around trying to buy out other companies, right? Like there's a point where the startup needs to build their own brand, make money, and then like eventually once they become like a corporation, they can do that.
Right.
Like there's like a building period, and so on Brood, it's like the same thing. It's like you're at a point you're a startup and you have to bootstrap and just do whatever you can to be greedy and get a level advantage. And then once you have the level advantage, you take over the game. So that's why you jungle that camp early, and then you start like jungling their camps. You start pressuring, you start cutting, you start doing that shit as soon as you can. You want to do it as soon as you can, but the baseline is like doing that at some point. Like move over to this left camp, in my opinion, and start taking that. Cut the creep wave. Never go back to this shit. Like take the web away from there, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could even if you're doing this more aggressive move, you could even start webbing like behind the tower over to this camp, and then you're getting
Right. You
this
just
camp and this camp, and then
dude.
this camp. You can web here and get
Yeah,
three
yeah.
camps, and
You
just like
just kill the camp, send a spider to cut the wave, kill the other camp. Razor's tanking the creeps under tower. You dive him. His team TP's in. You go continue jungling. All of a sudden, you've broken the entire game down by forcing everybody to come mid because you're just essentially being a fucking asshole there.
right.
But if you're not being an asshole, people aren't going to come to you, and the game is going to break down way less. Finders keepers, of course, you take the royal jelly. Everybody who gets the royal jelly always takes the first charge,
Yeah.
no matter what. That's the rule. But yeah, I would say like you could be applying so much more pressure right now and basically causing like the ideal state for Broodmother is to like get the side lanes to be winning by forcing the enemy supports mid.
Right.
And that's not happening here.
Yeah, I do like that you're pressuring the tower already, but I think you probably could even be pressuring it sooner, right? Because you could have like your creep waves constantly running into it, especially with like the first catapult wave. That'd be a super nice time
You
to.
keep coming back to this camp as like a crutch. I would like I would say literally take the web away from that camp. Like you should be farming, pushing the tower, farming the camp to the right there, farming the camp to the left. Like there should be enough that you're like and enough camps around the enemy base that you never need to go to your own side if you're winning the lane like this.
Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting you. I keep seeing the other camp being a thing.
No, it's good. You're the Broodmother player, so.
And you can just backdoor the tower too, by the way. Like you don't need to kill the creeps. You can just backdoor with the spiderlings.
Right.
Keep pressuring. Keep pressuring the tier 2. Get the entire enemy team to come mid. That's what you want to do. I would say Ags, like going Ags second in this game is really solid. You can definitely take over the game.
I want to speed it up to see how long it takes for him to actually die for the first time, because usually that first death on Brood is pretty preventable.
Okay, so the Weavers rotated here.
You just
he fucked up. Cool.
Kill him. All right, now we're starting to get some more people to come deal with you.
Good.
Still just kill him.
Okay, they use the fort, of course. Okay, it does go Ags next. Excellent. I would say that you have I was going to say a bit of a regen issue, and I would send out other regen. But you're doing that, so that's pretty cool.
How do you feel about this?
This is fine.
Okay.
If the enemy team is fighting near my webs, I will use them to go fight. Yeah. I would say put that poor man shield in your items.
Oh, is this the first death?
This is nuts. Oh my god. He was sucking you. Just run.
Yeah, you're faster than their whole team as they're TPing in. Like that's the win right there. You don't need to take a tier 3 and 1v5 their whole team at level 15.
Exactly. So I would say that especially with how the Aghanim Scepter works on Broodmother, removing the move speed cap, feel absolutely free to get a pair of boots. Like especially against something like a Razor or like Weaver, who's going to chase you with max move speed. Because if you have boots, then I think you're far more comfortable running away there, and you have an empty slot for it. You have it in the salve slot, and you can even ditch the Quelling Blade at some point. So you don't need to, not go boots anymore in Brood because you have this Aghanim Scepter that removes the move speed limit. Does this game really go for an hour, or is that bugged?
No, it goes for an hour plus, hour 24 minutes.
What the fuck?
All right, so what are his items at this point? Thoughts? Items at this point?
Okay, can I see? So I would say Aghanim Scepter should be consumed. Ditch the travels for just the flicker. That's fine. And then you should have like Abyssal Blade plus like Nullifier. That's like your ideal situation, is that you like at this point you want your boots to be like spider legs, ironically, or like flicker, some move speed item like ninja gear, something like that. That's the ideal thing. Like flicker gets 40 move speed, right? So
right, yeah.
The travels is like that slot could be. That's why people go like brown boots or like treads. Holy shit, mirror shield. What? Is that the enemy's mirror shield? No way.
Was it? Was it just left there?
Click the neutral items. I'm curious.
Hold up. Yeah, there's just a mirror shield on the ground.
The best item in Dota on the ground. What? Hello? Crazy.
It is the enemy.
Dude, it's the enemy team's. You got the enemy team's mirror shield. What?
That's hilarious.
I'm actually mind blown. I can't believe it. That's the best item in Dota.
All right, I mean, how do we lose this game? I feel like your team is just better than theirs at this stage of the game too.
Dude, I don't think this game should go to 61 minutes for God's sakes. Like this is crazy. They have no brood counter. You're
Right.
huge. You really need a nullifier, by the way, against this Necrophos.
Yeah.
And they're gonna have ghost scepters and shit against you. Like Orchid Nullifier is super legit. I would say Nullifier before Orchid is almost always the play. Nullifier is actually cheap to buy. It's pretty cheap.
Yeah, it is. It's really good on your hero too. I don't know. He's got 8 deaths at this point, so I would assume he's probably suicided for some towers and maybe like fed away some gold. And it seems like you should probably have more at this point.
I mean, at 60 minutes, I don't even know what to make of Dota because there's fucking mirror shields and shit, you know, like oh, you have okay, you have the thing that Ex Machina. Like how can you make anything of what's happening right now? It's 60-minute Dota. There's just crazy shit.
Everybody's just going on this Ex Machina. What does it even do? Oh, reset the cooldown on all items. Okay. Interesting.
Except Refresher.
So
I don't know. I would really like to look at this earlier. I think like I don't even know what to say about like, your guess is as good as mine for late game Dota. I haven't even played a 60-minute plus game on this patch before. So
all right. Well, we need to go to the next replay and keep it moving because we've been on this one
okay,
for 15 minutes.
I'm just gonna say there's a point where you just need to take Roche and go high ground with the BKB.
Yeah,
That's it.
makes
you just
sense.
control the map and siege like normal.
Let's see. Let's see when he buys the BKB. 36 minutes after the Orchid. So Ag, Solar Crest, Orchid, BKB. Eventually.
BKB has to be like second, third item. Otherwise, you can't fight. Like the moment 5-manning starts, you can't fight unless you're super far ahead.
Yeah, I agree. That's just the general story for most carries that submit replays too. Is like your BKB timing is too late because you're trying to be as greedy as possible when you really just need to buy a BKB and then you can be as greedy as you want after that because you have the ability to take a team fight anytime you need to.
Yep. All right, this one is, let's see.
Shadow Trader.
Shadow Trader, Dark Willow. Stomped the lane, but felt like I should have rotated mid a few times. Only reason we lost this game was because of TA, but whenever I looked mid, I felt like it would have been really hard to gank. I've also watched Blitzbanks for a long time, and there was a time like a year ago where he would get ganked by 3 heroes, kill 2 of them, and question mark enemies. Also, can Donnie download this for next week?
No.
This guy knows what he wants.
I'll think about it.
Okay. God, Pudge. That's why you lost.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. That's the enemy team.
Yeah. Anytime I see a Pudge on my team, I just assume that the game is probably going to be nearly impossible to win.
That's a garbage hero. Oh, it's so sad.
Although I do want to say before we get into this one that I think I finally figured out why I've lost 1,000 MMR in the last month. And it's
1,000? You've lost 1,000?
Yeah.
What's your MMR?
4,500.
What was it before? It was 5,500?
Yeah, I was almost 5,600. I was one game away from Immortal before the start of the patch.
Wow, that's crazy, man. Yeah. That sucks.
I mean, it's okay. I finally have realized that, and I think this happens to me every time that I cast a bunch of games or watch a bunch of Pro Dota. Is I start
your ideas have fallen off, and you actually needed to like watch good Dota.
Well, no.
Start playing to the bracket is what you're saying?
Yeah, I start actually I watch so much Dota and I get really inspired and I'm like, oh, my games are going to be amazing. I'm going to do everything right. And then my teammates are a bunch of eggplants instead of like Sumail, who I've been watching. And so I need to actually play the game in front of me instead of the game in my head. And I did that for the first time in a long time in the game that I played right before this. I had a position 5 Mirana who abandoned me against an Ogre Necrophos in the first 2 minutes of the game. I was playing Sven. And we had a sniper mid. And I was like level 3 at 5 minutes into the game. And then I literally just like went and ganked bottom and decided that I was playing offlane Sven from the safe lane. And I built Vlad's and like auras and just played a tank for my sniper, and he kept being like, your items are trash, you're a trash player, and I was like, you're the carry. And so then we won the game because I was playing that game instead of the game where I assume that my teammates are going to be good.
Okay.
And that's all I really need to do, and I'll gain a bunch of MMR. Can't expect your teammates to be good. Have to read the game as it is.
Yeah. You can't ever go in with like a static idea of how the game is going to be.
Yep.
Like even in high rated games, people just have different ideas from like the replays that you might be watching, different play styles and so forth. Yeah, no way. Your first mistake is pausing and expecting them to pause for you. Oh, there's a useless lion. I swear to God, tell me if I'm wrong about this. The most useless, shitty support players are always lions, ogres, and shadow shamans.
Pudge?
They're always the well, yeah, that's a different breed entirely. Like that's not even. Let's not even talk about Pudge. But those players are always the people that are like, oh, I'm such a good support, and my team always loses me games.
Yeah.
And then they literally just stand in the trees doing nothing, and they're like 1-17 by the end of the game. They're like, yeah, I did my job. I did my goddamn job. And it's like, no, you didn't. You fed and were useless. Pick a fucking better hero than like a generic stunner, you moron.
Yep.
Lich. Yeah, but here's the thing with Lich though. Is Lich is actually a good hero, and I agree that Lich would fall into that category. But Lich is a good hero, so it's easy to have to have like impact. Whereas
Also,
these like lions and Rastas and ogres like aren't necessarily, they're hard heroes because they're not broken. So you just have people like this guy that are just. I'm sure this guy's gonna jungle about 50 times this game.
yeah. Also, there's the fact that like they're not picking Lion because they want to play support. They're picking Lion because he has Finger of Death. They're picking Rasta because he has like so much disable and wards to take towers. They're picking Ogre because you can buy Midas if you have a good game and punch people in the face.
It's like it's
off your
stupid
keyboard.
reasons.
Yeah,
For sure. It's like it's dumb reasons.
those types of people don't even know that Lich exists as a hero because he's not fun enough.
Yeah, I mean
Quote,
he
unquote.
has a defense. He has a defensive spell, so
Right. Pull the lane, Shadow Trader, you fuck. Sorry, that was very aggressive, but you need
no. I mean,
you need to pull the lane.
it's true. Yeah. So here he said, what did he say in this? Stomp the lane. Feels like I should have rotated mid. You know what gives you the ability to rotate mid? If the creep equilibrium is directly in front of your tower, that gives you. You literally can't do anything other than sit in the lane if the equilibrium is not directly in front of your tower. I am telling you, Newsham wrote me this big fucking long essay about how I should make a video on this, which I don't want to because it's his idea, so it feels bad to like make a video on somebody else's idea. Anyway,
Dude.
that's besides the point. It all starts with the creep equilibrium. He was saying that the only time you can rotate or go stop pulls or go stack or go get bounties, any of these like 50 possible other things rather than laning, it all starts with the equilibrium being right in front of your tower. If it's not in front of your tower, you are locked in this position or your offlaner gets owned.
Yeah.
So you have to pull. You
Yeah.
have to pull.
And man, I'm watching this and just cringing because I know that I've also done this sometimes as a support where I'm like, oh, what if I get a couple more right clicks in, then we could kill this person. But it's like, dude, just walk over to your camp, attack it, walk into your lane, and then do exactly what you want to do right now 20 seconds later when the lion has to stand near your tower instead of underneath his. Simple as that.
Yeah. I also agree with Mohammed. Like, you could be core Wyvern in this game, too, and it'd be so much easier.
Yeah, I agree, because you'd have the ability to pull the lane with Arctic Burn from a long way away.
Right, and you have to be a core because otherwise you wouldn't have the levels in Arctic Burn to spam it to pull the lane.
Agreed.
Yeah,
all right.
exactly.
Yeah, this is 3 minutes without pulling the lane. What else did he want to know about? Because there's nothing else to talk about here.
In the lane. Okay, let me see. I'm scrolling all the way up. He said the only reason we lost this game was because of TA. It looked like it would have been a really hard gank. Well, it doesn't matter if it's a hard gank because if you go sit there and fuck with the TA, that's still good. But once again, in order to do that, the lane has to be back. Your clockwork has to be free farming.
Yeah. Also, you kind of need to do that. Look at your CS. Your puck is 9-1, and the TA is 24-10. Like, this is when a good position 4 would go to the mid lane and just right click the TA a bunch. Like,
Yeah, put the brambles down on TA. Just
yeah,
mess with his camps, like sentry block his camps maybe if you feel like it.
yep, yeah. Um,
Your 7-year-old cousin would like to know what you mean by lane equilibrium. Where the creeps meet. That's it. Where the creeps are battling each other.
yeah, sorry.
That needs to be in front of your tower.
Yeah, so where the creeps are currently is good. This is where you want your creeps to be as an offlaner, and this is where you
Yep.
want your creeps to be as a safe laner. And
Yep.
it's the same way here. Creeps should be here for safe lane. Creeps should be here for off lane. So the entire laning stage is really just a battle for control of the creep equilibrium and who gets to keep it in front of their tower. That's literally all you should be trying to do the entire laning stage. Until you do that, then you can go do other stuff, which is when you become useful as a support.
Instead of just basically a creep in the lane that's casting spells.
Yeah, I mean, like, cool, you're level 4, but your Clockwork's not even level 4 yet. You're higher level in your Clockwork. That is not supporting. You're playing core. You're just playing like a mediocre second offlaner right now. I'm being kind of mean right now. I apologize. But pull the fucking lane, man.
It's with love, it's like the great thing is it's like it's easy to improve this. You just pull and then your life changes, It's like the game becomes 1,000 times easier.
Yeah, this puck. Oh my god. 51-16 to 19-1. This is like borderline irrecoverable.
Yeah. This guy needs to be ganked.
Yeah.
The what's his face? The Oracle also shouldn't be bought. There's like a Pudge.
You have a safe lane Timbersaw. Who needs? Why does he need
Exactly.
support?
Well, it's a Pudge. It's 2 strength melee hero against Timber.
Yeah.
Like both the supports should just be fucking with the TA,
At least he's
especially
pulling,
with
I
the Dream
guess.
Coil. Yeah, but I mean, this is, it's like sure the lane is good, but you're gonna lose the game. So
I
I
agree.
guess it's cool if like you're fine with that or whatever. But I feel like people aren't. Like I feel like people it goes back to urgency once again. People are all like gung ho about thinking about their lane, and then they lose the game to somebody in another lane, and then it's kind of like, oh well, that wasn't my lane,
Right.
It's
You
like
just
laning stage happens for 10 minutes, but sometimes 10 minutes is all it takes for somebody, some win condition to get to their timing, and then you just lose. So you have to have the urgency where it's like this TA is dumpstering. You just open the scoreboard and see that TA is level 7, puck's level 5, and all of a sudden you need to gank this guy. You need to at least pressure him. And the way that you make it better is just go to the TA, start hitting him, and whole enemy team TPs to you to stop you from doing that, and then your side lanes free farm, and then all of a sudden they need to deal with your side laners.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? It's like there's like a trade-off that happens. There's like a passing of the baton that happens where the TA, you go pressure the TA, everybody comes to the TA. Now all of a sudden the TA is free farming, but guess what? It's taking 3 heroes to do that now instead of just 1. So that means you have 2 side laners that are very farmed that can carry against the TA instead of 0.
Yeah. I'm going to move on to the next replay because I really just think that's as simple as pull the lane so you can be useful. And that's all you really got to do.
The big thing I would say is like don't think about ganks in terms of I need to kill this guy. Think about it in terms of I need to pressure this guy or he's gonna fuck my face in the game. You just need to go there and force people there so that way the math on the map just works out nicely. You don't need to get kills. That's a huge fallacy in Dota, I would say.
Yeah, kills are a byproduct of getting an advantage and like being in the right place at the right time. They're not really how you calculate whether you're being a good player or not.
Yeah. Your body just needs to be in the right place. That's it.
Yep.
Damn, we have a lot of replays. Are people still submitting them?
I don't know. We might not be able to get through all of them, actually. That's okay, because there's plenty more weeks in this month, and the people that we don't get to, we can make sure to do theirs first next time. But we'll get through as many as we can. We've also taken like 12 to 15 minutes per replay so far. So we can speed it up a little bit. Party. Bane, position 5. The enemy Beastmaster was 7k plus MMR and got away with a lot more than he should have gotten in his lane. Is there any way I could have won the lane harder? Should I have focused the boars even more? I felt like I
Yes.
couldn't sustain nuking the level 2 boars, so I didn't commit onto them. Maybe you can give me some advice on how to play against Beastmaster in general, since people tend to pick him when I pick Bane for some strange reason. We ended up winning the game, but it was super messy.
I would say Bane is actually good against Beast.
Because you can just trade with the boars.
You just kill the boars. Yeah, that's the big misconception. Like everybody wants to trade with the heroes, but anytime you're playing against like a summons hero, like Nature's or Bane, the reason, or sorry, or Nature's or Beast, like the reason they're good is because you have to trade with the summon first. Otherwise, they just own you because they basically have 3 heroes hitting you instead of 2.
Right. Just like Invoker in the mid lane with Forge Spirit. Like you kill the Forge Spirit every single time, and then you win that lane super easily.
Yeah, I mean it's not like particularly fun to have to do that, but that's why these heroes are good.
Yep. Yeah, I completely agree. That's like literally all you have to do to. And if you think about it this way, it's like, especially at like level 1, level 2, level 3, they're spending so much mana to have this advantage that you then immediately take away from them over and over and over. It's like they don't even have a skill, basically.
Yeah, if you can kill a freshly summoned boar, man, that's or even get it to like 10% HP, he can't use it anymore. It's like GG.
Right.
Good girls gone horror. Nice one, Teal.
Is that his name?
Yeah, you're really cool.
What a quality human.
Yeah, really top notch stuff.
Yeah, I see you hitting the beast quite a bit. I also don't think I think that the order of operations in this lane is like boar, Leshrac, and let your Morphling trade with the Beastmaster because he can.
Yeah, Morph will do fine against Beast.
Right.
Just in general. Like as long as you're getting Morph to level 3, you're totally cool with anything happening in this lane. Like this hero will shit on Beast eventually.
Yeah. I
It's a counter.
I think that that's like a really important thing to remember as a support, and something that I am constantly trying to ask myself is like, who is the actual person in this lane that is making it hard? And most of the time in a lane where you have like a short range hero like Morphling or a melee hero, and you're the range hero and you're against a melee hero and a ranged hero, the answer is the range hero in the lane, right? Which is usually the support. So it's like if there's a Wind Ranger and an Underlord in a lane and you have a Slark and you're a Lich, you should probably trade with the Wind Ranger because the Slark can trade with the Underlord just fine. And in this case, it's the Boars and the Leshrac that are making your Morphling life difficult because they can actually just hit him from out of Morphling's attack range, whereas the Beastmaster has to walk up to the creeps and walk up to the Morphling to hit him, and Morphling can dominate him.
Yep.
But sometimes there's a core Wyvern in your lane, and you can't do anything about it because it's the best hero in Dota.
Yeah, exactly. Like especially if it's a core.
Yeah.
It's just so strong. You have Arctic Burn.
Yeah.
Okay, don't try not to soak this guy's XP. Get him his levels. You don't need to do this. Farm is already secured. Definitely unnecessary little trades there going on.
Yeah, that's another thing that I notice with a lot of these heroes like Bane and Ogre and Lich and Disruptor is that people get addicted to this, like, I'm the trader in this lane. I can just like out trade anybody. And you don't
That
need
was
to,
cool.
that was a nice play. But you don't need to trade with anybody if the creep wave is directly in front of your carry's tower. Like the reason that you're trading is so that he can access the creep wave when it's farther out. And if he has free farm, then you can go do other stuff. Just like we were talking
Exactly.
about in the last replay.
Yep, I really like what you said. It's like the whole point of trading is so that they can access the creep wave, but it's not necessary if they are already accessing the creep wave. It's not about killing the opponents or anything like that. That doesn't matter.
Yep.
It's just about securing your guy farm, especially when you know that if he gets some levels, which Morphlings typically own when they get some levels, you know, like this guy's gonna just destroy the Beastmaster. Like they can't ever kill him. If he gets level 5, just press his strength morph.
Yep.
His infinite HP.
Yep. Yeah, and by the time he's level 5, he can probably like two-shot these boars too. So
yeah, seriously, it's really ridiculous. Oh, Big Pudge is top. Look out. Sick hook coming in. Oh, he showed up at 40% HP and 40% mana. And he's just walking around in your jungle. Oh, there he is. Actually, that's not a bad rotation because he did it on the bounty spawn. Oh, yeah, that's magic damage now, eh?
The brain sap?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. Forgot. What? Where's the sick hook? Sick hooks.
Oh, sick. That was so sick.
Oh, is he
Now the
gonna
classic,
die?
classic punch. Oh my god.
Oh.
Why is this hero fucking thing?
All right. Well,
Ugh.
I think that's the advice for this replay. Am I wrong? Is there anything else you want to tell him?
What else did he ask?
It was basically just about how to play against Beastmaster.
Yeah, kill the boar.
All right, you heard it here first, party. Go get 6K, dog.
I mean, the beast was playing pretty well, though. I gotta say, like he was moving the boar away, which is pretty good.
Well, if you didn't hear it, he was a 7K player. I don't know if you know any 7K players, but they're pretty good.
They're pretty smart. Yeah, they're pretty much like certified geniuses. Hey, go to the bottom, dude. Let's do Gistragas first.
Okay.
Because he submitted last week at the very end, and we didn't get to him. So
Okay, which one are we doing?
I would assume that he probably wants the most recent one, the Undying position 5.
Okay, that's the most recent.
Yeah, that's the most recent one.
Well, yeah, we'll do that. We'll throw that in there.
Well, the other one is a Wyvern replay, but it's older, so. Hey, congraties, party. Good shit. I'd say that I mean, yeah, obviously, if you've hit 6K, you're playing really well.
Yeah.
But yeah, seemed like you did a decent job in that lane. Sometimes you lose Dota.
Happens. All right, Undy, one of my favorite heroes in the entire game.
Yeah, you're loving this one. Look at this mug. Super secretary. My mom was a secretary for a fucking bomb company. They made bombs and explosives.
Really?
Isn't that crazy?
Damn.
She's like the sweetest lady. I would never have guessed. She told me that like a couple weeks ago. I was like, what?
When you say a bomb company, it was a terrorist organization?
It was ISIS actually.
Okay.
All right, I'll bring it back. Give me 1 second.
Well, we're on the list now. I gotta say I don't really like your item build personally. I'm a big fan of just going for 6 tangos and 6 mangoes because you should be spamming decay constantly in the lane. And you want to just be using it off of cooldown pretty much, which takes up a lot of mana. Your hero's actually really good against Timbersaw, especially early on. So, yeah, just make sure that you're just spamming decay constantly.
Oh, I don't like salve.
Yeah, I was gonna say you should go 6 tangos, 6 mangoes.
Yeah, I agree.
And just decay constantly. Just run at the Timbersaw. Run at the Timbersaw. Decay him constantly. You've used decay, like, you haven't used decay in the last 30 seconds. It's because you only have 2 mangoes left. Uh-oh.
You just decay and then suicide. That's all you do. You just suicide with decays.
Yeah.
And get your Slark like a bit of a level advantage. And then eventually you hope that your Slark can lane the timber just fine. But
you're missing a pull while the lane's pushing.
Yeah, you definitely want to pull in this lane. Like the moment timber gets level 3, I see this lane as like you just need to get the Slark farm and you need to just out level them because I don't think you're gonna pressure them past the first couple of levels. It's a Timbersaw. You know, he's gonna get level 3 and then it's GG.
Yep,
So
I agree.
just just chain pull constantly and get your Slark XP. That's all you need to care about. And then eventually your Invoker will get a Spirit Vessel and you'll deal with the Timber later.
Unless he's going Exort, because he is, because this is a legend replay.
Oh, okay. Well, then your Jakiro.
Or you can get a Spirit Vessel.
Well, yeah, but fuck, you're Undying. It's hard. It's a lot of farm for an Undying. You're going to need to take a lane, which I would actually prefer over nobody getting a Vessel. I would prefer an Undying to just be useless and sit in a lane.
Yep. Sometimes you gotta. I also don't like going Tombstone against this lane. Like, it's very hard to kill the Timbersaw with Tombstone. You actually just make him harder to kill because your zombies do like 0 damage and they're just giving him reactive armor stacks. So I don't think
Doesn't do anything.
I don't think that's the play. Also, I wanted to go back to the very beginning of the lane. So I want to give you a little bit of a tip on playing Undying, which is that you just walk up here, you get some decays, and you definitely don't come over here. You just go sit right here.
Yeah, you block them with the Slark. You don't let them into the lane.
Yeah, you sit right here, and as soon as they walk up, or you can sit here, you actually just stop them from going to the first creep wave.
This hero is the strongest level 1 hero in Dota, arguably.
Yep.
So if you're not, and he falls off immensely after that. So if you're not abusing the ridiculous level 1, then basically you should be playing a hero that has stronger levels later in the game when you're more comfortable with playing. But like you should be lane cucking both of these heroes. Your Slark and you should be just totally preventing them from entering into the lane.
Yep.
And make them use all of their regen in order to get in. You might even kill them.
Yep. Yeah, if you're here right now, you decay this guy again. He has, 8 stacks. You decay him again. You have like 20 strength bonus. All of a sudden, you're hitting for like 80 damage. This guy has like 300 health. And he has to make a decision. Do I actually want this first wave of creeps? And the answer is probably no. He's going to walk back to his tower. And then your Slark is suddenly level 2. And then he's going to come up again. And this time you won't be able to do the same thing because the creeps will aggro to you. But you can hide in these trees over here.
And then you go do it again, zone them out, probably kill them with the Slark who's level 2.
Yep. That's how you play Undying. You don't play this like sitting behind your carry and like throwing out
play
decays.
like a man.
Yeah.
You fucking decay until you die.
Yep.
I'm telling you, like you literally run into their face and say, "It's me or you, bitch."
Yep. Yeah. Like this is playing as if you're one of those position 5 lions that we just talked about that we don't
just
like.
Imagine you're like a much shittier core wyvern. Like you're basically just a complete god. And you need to you just need to run into the enemies.
Yeah.
Until you die. That's fine.
Also, try and get double decays as much as possible. People move around a ton in the lane, but they always end up kind of like intersecting and get used to that what the actual AoE is, which is pretty big. Like you wait. All right. If you were near them, they would probably both be near you, and then you get double decays. But yeah, I think that you're playing the first like minute and a half as if you're not Undying, and that's a big problem because literally this hero is supposed to win the lane from before the laning stage, and if you don't do that, then you might as well not be this hero.
The first like 2 minutes on Undying are the most important, more than any other hero in the game. After that, you just drop a tombstone and probably run in and die.
Yep, I agree.
That's like what the hero does. So you need to optimize this part of the game.
Yep.
And you probably will win a lot because this hero is pretty good actually.
Yeah. I significantly, I was like 40% win rate on this hero, and then I started really focusing on like how I was approaching this very, very critical part of the game, and now I think I have like a 50% win rate on the hero, so I've been winning a lot after not understanding how to play him very well.
Nice.
Let's go ahead and just like skip into the game and see what the itemization is before we move on. All right. Nobody has a Spirit Vessel against a Life Stealer and a Timbersaw. So that's kind of an issue.
Yeah, big GG's right there.
I think they won anyway. Right?
Did they?
Yeah. This is a winning replay, isn't it?
I have no idea.
Oh, no. You guys all just fed going high ground, and then you lost the game.
Wow.
Oof. Welp. That's what happens sometimes.
Yeah. GG. I'm not a huge fan of mech either. I think that's a very like do nothing item.
Yeah,
I really like Vessel, Glimmer, Force, shit like that.
yeah. Super trash on Undying. Undying is not a hero that you're playing as like this like periphery healer. You want to be tanky. I actually think that you need to go phase boots on this hero every game because he now has this bonus movement speed from his ultimate, and you kind of are a chaser, and you want to be tanky. And bracers are good. Aura items are good. I like to build Vlads on the hero if I can sometimes. And yeah, Spirit
Vlads
Vessel.
is gonna be good. Pipe maybe,
Yep. Just anything to
but
make you tanky.
Pipe's a little too expensive. Maybe Force, Glimmer, Vlads. Those are all really cheap.
Yep. Agreed. All right, let's go on to the next one, which is
This
Earthshaker.
this would be Mira.
Yeah, Myra.
Myra. We just did party. I'm gonna delete just Straga's message. Just make it simpler because it's right at the bottom. Returning player here and Patreon here. Patron. I've climbed from 4.1k to 4.8k in 7.24. That's phenomenal. That's insane growth.
Yeah, it's really good.
Jesus, you don't need us. Thanks for the money, but I don't think you need our help. The games are getting faster and faster. It's cool that you're realizing that. I'm worried that I'm being too slow. Played Shaker in this game, and I felt like the early game went pretty well, but then we lost the second Roshan fight, and they throned us. Yeah, that happens in high-rated games. Did I play correctly in the early game, and how could I have more impact in the mid game? Okay.
Alrighty.
Let's give it a gander. When playing Undying, if decays on cooldown, I'm playing bad. Yes, I really like that. I know that sounds extreme, but I actually really like that little, phrasing. I like the phrasing on that. Like, I remember a clip on Reddit where Envy was just screaming at his Undying player. He's like, "Go in! Stop being a bitch! Stop being a bitch! Go hit them until you die!" And then he did, and then they got a double kill, and Undying was at like 10% HP, and it's like, that's actually how you play the hero.
Yeah, no, it literally is.
You fucking go in, suicide, mirror you.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
For 2 minutes, and then it's awful.
All right, blocking the wave, warding the Meepo camp.
Nice. Like it.
I would probably not fissure right there if we're just nitpicking. I would wait until Razor has link up because he had just used it. Kind of time.
I do think that's a bit of a nitpick though. Like I agree, but that's like a small thing. I do really like the plays so far.
Yeah.
Generally speaking. Okay, making space. This is good. I don't think this is necessary, but if you've decided that this is necessary, then yeah, go for it. Really nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
this
like
is
this
nice.
a lot. This is really
very good. Once again, guys, rotations don't need to result in kills. This is pressure on the most important hero in the game. I'm a big fan of this.
Yeah.
You're being a real asshole, and this is cool.
Meepo hasn't hit a creep in like 30 seconds, which is amazing. That's really, really good.
It's so good.
And Grimstroke is left bottom, which means that Void Spirit is free farming as well.
He's getting the double wave too. So yeah, no, dude, this is amazing. First 2 to 3 minutes, like this is so high skill actually.
Yep.
I'm a huge fan of what you're doing. This is fucking amazing. I see why you're winning. I see why you've gained MMR. This is very good what you're doing.
Yeah, I don't totally agree with using all of your obs wards to block camps, personally.
Yeah, I would say like using sentries to block camps is cool, but using the obs to scout to find Meepo farming and you just fuck with him while he's farming is pretty good.
Exactly. Like you might see him low, you might be able to go kill him, which is super nice. But yeah, these are going to block one camp and then they're going to be dewarded because you're in Divine and people will deward the camps almost immediately.
Yeah, Grimstroke's already dewarding.
Yep.
It's cool though. You're giving your Void Spirit free farm by doing this, which is really nice.
Yep. You've impacted mid, you've impacted bottom, you've gone and impacted top. This is something that I see basically all good fours do in Pro Dota is like within the first 2 minutes of the game, they'll have, or 3 minutes maybe, they'll have gotten to kill top, they'll have gotten to kill mid, and they'll have gotten to kill bottom. Or at least severely impacted those lanes. So, good stuff.
God, you have both the enemy supports mid. I love this. This is really solid.
All right, now we're sentry blocking camps. Cool. You kill Meepo. Good stuff.
Get the bounties. Yo, dude, you're. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I think this is great.
No, this is good. This is
I
all
would
good.
say though, I would say
You're
probably
quite low
move your
level.
camera. Well, I would say move your camera to the bottom lane. Like, see what's actually going on down there, and if you need to help, because you haven't done that yet. So I have no idea, and you have no idea whether you need to help this guy or not, or how that lane is going. I haven't seen you click on anything that gives you insight to how the lanes are going. You're just sitting around mid, which I think is really good because there's a Meepo. But I would say gather information about the other lanes as well.
Right. He did check on it there for a sec. Still helping the Razor mid. How do you feel about continuing to block these camps when like they're very clearly being dewarded? And you're just going to deward a sentry and then block them again, which is going to get dewarded again.
Yeah, I would say like this is why you just want to like try to get vision down and just hunt the Meepo while he's farming and just fuck with him.
Yeah. I feel like that's wasting a lot of your gold, which really needs to go towards Blink as quickly as possible against this lineup.
Yeah, definitely Blink is important. So you PA farming, you Void Spirit farming, you probably want him to get active. I like that you're like taking a lane at some point. I think this is important.
Yep.
You don't keep running around and trying to fight. The problem with you buying all these sentries is that you're delaying from your Blink. Like, you're not the hero that should be buying the sentries. You should be having your CM buying the sentries, and then you use them, ideally. And if your CM's not going to... Like, yeah, you're super poor on a hero that's really important to get farm on.
Yep.
So there needs to hit a certain point where you just, like, hard take a lane and get the Blink Dagger, and then you let your team, who's huge, like, one of your cores needs to start rotating. It's not going to be PA. It's going to be Void Spirit or... Like, your Void Spirit and your Razor need to connect with each other.
Yeah, and I would also say potentially that psychologically you realize also the fact that you're level 3 at 10 minutes is a little unfortunate. That seems extremely low.
This is why you need to take a lane to catch up. I actually think what you've been doing is good, but like if you try to continue doing this shit, it's going to be just awful.
Yeah, you're not even going to be a hero. But what I was going to say is psychologically, I feel like because you've been buying all these sentries periodically, you bought the tome because you're so far behind in levels. You keep looking down at your gold, and then you look at this Blink Dagger, and you're like, oh my god, I'm like 2,000 gold away from this. That's so far. I'm going to wait for a while before I go farm the rest of it. But if you weren't buying all these sentries, you might have like 900 gold now, or like 1,000 gold, or 1,200 gold, because you've been a part of a bunch of kills, 4 kills. That's good stuff. And if you see 1,200 gold and you realize, oh, I'm only 1,000 gold away from the Blink, you're going to be more likely to go make that decision to go get the Blink Dagger, which will then literally like completely change the complexion of this game, because suddenly there's going to be a Blink Earthshaker that the other team has to worry about every single time they do anything.
I agree. Definitely agree. It's a bit on your course. Like I think showing up to this and you're trying too much to contribute. Kill stealing is pretty good there actually for you, but just sit in the mid lane. Just take the mid lane.
Yep.
That's all you got to do. Just farm. And if your team comes there, tell them to fuck off.
Or go jungle right next to them.
Yeah, I don't even know. Jungling is like slow. You really want to give an Earthshaker a lane. I played with so many good Earthshakers that just demand a lane. They just say, "Hey, I'm farming here. Go away."
Yeah. I mean, I agree, but you also have 3 levels in Aftershock, so you can jungle if you have to.
Yeah, it's not that bad. Like if it's like Satyrs and stuff or Alpha Wolves, there are some good camps for you for sure.
Oh my god, more sentries and dust. Help.
Yeah, this is definitely overbuying the support items for sure.
I feel like a good timing for an Earthshaker that's had this good of a start, 105, 12 minutes, is like Blink Dagger.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, this is about the time that you should have the Blink Dagger. So let's go ahead and see how long it takes you to actually get there. I don't even care what's happening in this game, because I feel like that's kind of like the pivotal point for you.
And Pogasus is saying like in 6K, in like less than 6K MMR, they're not going to buy sentries for you, the pause 5. Then just don't use sentries.
Yeah.
Use 1 ward, which is free, and then hunt the meatball out as camps.
Yeah.
You don't need sentries.
All right. The game's definitely swinging because we don't have our blink yet. Okay, we finally got our blink. And looks like we're going to not have echo because we just took a fight. That's okay. I guess we can go look at this Roche fight where they lose the game, right? Woo! So
This is one of those games where I think you have to echo the meepo.
yeah, we'll go to like 30-ish minutes. 32 sounds about right. You guys are slightly ahead. That's cool. Is there a Roshan coming up? Oh. Go back. So fight's kicking off. You're hanging back.
Oh, Jug Omni coming in hot.
Nyx.
Oh, the Nyx.
It's okay. You're fine. You
Oh!
nice echo.
Oh, this is the Carapace. It's so sad.
Carapace, and also, I mean, to be honest, I feel like that's kind of your team's fault because they were like strung out like this, and there was like people getting picked off before the fight had really kicked off, so there was no follow-up damage for you. I don't know. It's kind of sad, but like I don't know if that's necessarily your fault that you lost right there.
Well, they still have a 2K advantage, so it's not over.
Except it is.
Oh no, you forced. Oh, I see what happened there. You that's such a.
D-force right as the root happened.
Yeah, I hate to see the mechanic. No, he forced the PA into him who had the stun going for her.
Oh.
So it hit both of them.
Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, instead of waiting for the stun to just end. That's such a small mechanical thing, but it actually got you guys fucked.
Yeah, it probably lost you the game, actually.
And then you both bought back. I would say these buybacks are throwing, really. Like, why are you both buying back? They're not even Caraxing you. They were standing on a tower that had a tier 2 still alive.
Yeah, I agree. And now you're pressured to go here.
The buybacks are like mega throwing.
And they come, you don't have echo because you feel pressure to take Roche because you
now
just
your Razor's
back.
dead with no buyback.
Yeah. Even a huge echo is not going to win you the game here.
Oh man,
That's rough.
that all spiraled just from that one chase where you guys bled. I think the buybacks are really the big thing that could be avoided. The like little force thing that happens in the best of games. You know, sometimes people fuck that shit up. So can't do much about that other than don't. You know, but like that's just instinct. But those buybacks, that was just bad buyback discipline. Honestly, you guys were just really like excited to fight them, and it ruined the game because then when you guys die, you have no buyback, and all of a sudden, instead of just having to win the next fight, the game is over if you die with no buyback. The whole game is dictated by buybacks now. Every goddamn game is ended by throne races. Well, not throne races, but just going down mid, taking throne, killing without buyback. There's these ridiculous level 30 items or late game items like the mirror shields and shit. Everybody gets level 30, so you pucks with rapiers, multi-shotting everything. Like the game is nuts in the late game. Racks don't matter. Nothing matters but buybacks. That's it.
Yep. All right, our next one is from Justin Ash playing Witch Doctor. Welcome back, Justin Ash.
J Ash, back in the posse.
Says, hey guys, it's your boy Justin Ash back into Dota after months of hiatus. Played my first game in the new patch, which felt kind of new and fresh to me. Anyways, laning wise, I'm still good, I think, ? I try to rotate to top and try to harass the enemy carry since Earthshaker looks kind of dead meat to me in that lane. My question would be, does my early game rotations cost me and my team to lose the game.
What is this camera angle?
I don't know. It's like zoomed in for some reason.
That's weird.
All right.
Okay.
Witch Doctor.
Don't know how I feel about this hero.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
I feel like it's still kind of garbage.
I tend to agree.
Like a shittier Snapfire. Just have this like channeled thing that you're.
Oof. I don't know how I feel about this rotation.
I don't either. I think this is borderline griefing.
I would agree. You're leaving a Medusa solo against a Centaur Disruptor who will murder her in cold blood. And your reasoning for going here is because you think that Earthshaker is going to die? Who cares? Fuck your Earthshaker. He's your position 4. Why are you sacrificing your position 1 for your position 4?
That, like, a play like this can ruin the entire game.
Yeah.
Like, now your Earthshaker has to go bot. That basically has to happen.
Yep.
But he's not going to do that because he's a pub, so... Boy, you guys are aggro trialating. Oof.
Poor Medusa.
Totally out of mana. I mean, they would definitely punish her too if they were like better players, but I feel like they're not going to take advantage. It's like leaving a sniper alone in a lane. Like, you just kill that fucker.
Yeah. Or like a Drow Ranger. You would never leave your Drow alone at level 1.
No. Oh, God.
And yeah, you can see your Medusa has 4 last hits at almost 3 minutes because she can't do anything. She's stuck under a tower watching them as they deny her.
Oh, God, she's a clarity. Oh, she can't afford anything else. That's the only regen she can buy. Oh, she's literally just sending out mice. She's like... I think it's actually good that you die because then you can get bot again.
Oh, no.
Oh, no!
Justin, why? How many times?
No.
I would report you if you weren't a nice guy named Justin Ash who is our patron. I would definitely report you if I was the Medusa right now.
Oh my God. You can't do this.
No, this is actually losing the game for your team.
Oh, God. It's like leaving an anti-mage. It might be worse. Oh, it's so sad.
More tangos. 0 item progression. Can't even use Mystic Snake because he has to use Mana Shield to not die to this Disruptor's harass. Oh, God.
I feel so bad for this Medusa. He's just like, what am I supposed to do? Look what he's writing.
All right. Here's what you do in this lane, buddy. You go down there. You probably take Cask and you take Maledict. And then you just max out your Voodoo Restoration and you counteract the Disruptor's harass. And you pull, and your Medusa farms, and then your Medusa carries you eventually. You don't care about these kills. These heroes are irrelevant. Nobody matters in this game except your Medusa, because it's a Medusa game. Enable that bitch, stack for her, heal her, give her your regen, give her all of your mana with Voodoo Restoration. Kills are completely unimportant. When you have a Medusa, your Medusa needs to hit a timing, she needs to get a bunch of items, and then you win the game.
I gotta say, you guys aren't even pressuring up here either. The Monkey King still has 8 denies. Your Slardar has 8 last hits. Like, you guys are just getting owned with 3 people instead of 2. Oh, yeah. Nice. You did it.
Did ya?
I don't know.
I don't think you did it. All right.
Oh, God. I don't even know what else to say about the replay, honestly, because I feel like this aggro tri-lane is just insanity.
Yeah, this is so unfortunate. Let's go ahead and skip very far into the game because obviously the enemy team didn't just straight up destroy you.
Shockingly.
So let's look at itemization. Looks pretty good to me.
Yeah. I agree.
I don't have much of a problem with any of those.
Yeah, I like this. I like this. It's good. That seems fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't even know what talents you go. These are crazy talents, actually.
They really are. I tend to agree that 75 damage is just too much to not take on this hero. The Maledict AoE seems pretty good, and the Maledict Tick, it seems okay. I think I would probably prefer the Death Ward range in this game, just because you can stand like in the trees and still Death Ward like the Monkey King in his Wukongs or something like that, or avoid being glimpsed.
It's like attack range on the Death Ward, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah. So I think I like that better than the Maledict Tick. But everything else looks pretty good to me.
Yeah.
As far as this build goes, everything else that we watched earlier is not okay with me, and so we're not going to talk about it anymore.
Okay.
Let's move on to the next replay.
Last tick is the best tick. It really is.
It certainly is. I mean, it's definitely a decent amount of damage increase, but so is getting your Death Ward off for the entire duration, because they can't find you in the trees. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Next video, we have... Wait, what? Video? What's wrong with me? Next replay, we have Pegasus playing Slardar, position 3. I just recorded a Slardar video. We won, but this was my first Slardar game in ages. And I'm still getting used to position 3. Oh, whoopsie, I'm fucking Pegasus. Do you like when I do that with your voice, your like hypothetical voice? My comms and PMA kept up our team morale. I'm gonna stop now and focus on objectives, but I feel a bit lost in this role. The PA in Dazzle lane was tough with daggers and poison, so I went with an early stick. Should I have been cutting the lane, setting double waves, etc., etc.? In a harass heavy lane like this, how can I compensate until I level up a bit when my support doesn't know how to side pull or stack the triangle camps? I went double gloves of haste because a friend said that he played against it and it was surprisingly effective. Other thoughts? Please help.
All right, hold up. I gotta go back to this other replay real quick.
Which one?
The Justin Ash one.
But why?
Because apparently the Monkey King went 42-6 in KDA. According to Hockeyillionaire.
What? You fucking tri-laned him. Oh my god.
How is that even possible?
I've never seen somebody get over 40 kills before. I've literally never seen that.
What? He killed Slardar 11 times. Earthshaker 13 kills on Earthshaker. Justin Ash was the least killed player on his team. God. Congratulations. At least you have that going for you.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's why he went 42-6, more heroes to kill, because he was against a tri-lane.
Oh man.
Oh god. I can't believe it. I can't believe that's the one you submitted. And you're like, this was probably fine, right? No, Justin. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That game was bananas.
That was just insane. All right, who are we looking at again here? Oh, Slardar, of course.
Slardar.
Pegasus. Starting build seems fine. Most people don't go mangoes on Slardar because he has like no mana costs, so people usually go same thing except with an extra tango. I mean, once again, this is one of those small, very small things, but you know, especially when you're in a harass against a harass lane.
Should we be afraid to just skill bash here and trade for the rune?
Yeah, a lot of people don't skill bash anymore first. It's like stun sometimes bash. Never the sprint though. Yeah, I would say like cutting waves is pretty legit here.
Yeah,
It's
Dazzle PA lane sounds awful, especially when you have a, hey, what's that support that we all like? Lion in your lane.
garbage.
Named
Total garbage.
Clayton Bigsby, aka the white racist.
Really,
Or
really good.
the black white supremacist.
Oh, he's the guy. The guy that's blind.
Yeah.
That's such a funny one.
The Chappelle character.
Yeah. Dave Chappelle's a genius. Okay, so hard lane, you just want some levels. This seems kind of insane to me.
Yeah, this doesn't seem very useful.
Paga says no, what the hell? Oh my god. Okay, well, you can actually cut the wave there if you tango a little tree by like the tower and just grab the wave and then run the hell away. That would actually be okay if you were to do that and then like end up cutting the wave. But now we have this situation where like nobody's pulling the hard camp and the wave is in their tower, and it's like, what do we do? Well, somebody needs to run over and hit the hard camp once and then run into the creep wave.
Yeah.
That's what needs to happen.
I also feel like you just double up the second and third creep waves, TP to your tower, and then you have a nice lane.
Yeah, that's fine, but I think it's hard for them to stop you from. I would just like try to cut, and if it looks like Dazzle's gonna like kill me, then I'll TP like as he's hitting me.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. I don't know.
The point being, you're laning into a lane that you don't need to lane into. That's too hard.
Yes, it's quite hard. Now the lane is pushing out because they suck. And all right, time to watch your Lions sit and soak experience. Oh, there it is. He mana drained Dazzle for 0.2 of a second. Very cool.
Your scorn for position 4 players who do this is so funny to me.
I hate it. I really do hate it. I can't lie to you.
Oh man.
Because they think that they're playing well is the thing. Is they have
Right.
this idea. They have this idea that like their cores are losing the game. I honestly, let me tell you. This is a tangent, but I hate that like you have Redditors that post threads about like how tough it is to be a support and how hard it is to gain MMR, and they're actually just the greediest, most dog shit, useless players that are like way more greedy than core players. And they're basically just playing core from support. And they're always like, oh, my cores are so greedy. It's losing me games. It's like, no, you fucking suck. Except at least the cores aren't like blind to their own greediness.
Right.
You know?
That's my new line at the end of a game where I just have a support who's complete trash that lost us the game by not playing support. Is I just say, hey buddy, I get passive aggressively toxic. I say, hey dude, next time you press play Dota, why don't you go to role queue, select safe lane, and then queue for that, because it's there for you to be able to play core. Don't queue for support anymore.
Yeah. I had a couple of like verifiable account buyers where you go and it's like Meepo top pick 7 months ago, Southeast Asia. And the person was like jungling on like Crystal Maiden while we had an advantage. And then another guy who was also a verifiable account buyer, exact same thing. They're very prolific right now. I don't know why, but they were both just jungling at the same time when we had an advantage. And I had like Demon on my team or something. And the whole game, but him and I were just like, okay, well, I guess our fucking core Lion and core CM will eventually carry. And then obviously they didn't because their items were totally meaningless.
Right.
And then we lost our timing, and then we had lost the game. And it's like, you can't just out carry. Man, I don't know. Like, there's a reason these heroes are supports.
Yeah.
They have timings that are early.
Yeah.
You can't. There's no reason to jungle on them or to steal XP or fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate these people. Anyway.
There's just such a like fundamental misunderstanding of what it means to play anything other than a core role.
The thing is, it's so fine. If you want to play core, you can.
Yeah.
But stop this bullshit of pretending that you're a support player when you aren't.
Yeah.
It's like
that's the main thing. It's just stop playing support. You have the option to literally never play support ever again for the rest of your Dota career. You don't have to do it. You can queue to not ever play support. So why the fuck?
Oh, sorry.
Nusham
told me that his first question that he covers, which I mean, I suppose this is actually bad business, but the first thing that he does when he coaches people is that he asks them like about them to see like what their correct role is. And a lot of the time he said that he would turn people away and say like, you just aren't a support player. Go play like mid. You like fighting, go play mid. You like farming, stop playing position 4, play carry. And then like people would just increase their MMR based on playing shit that they're actually like favoring playing. Like, why play a role and do a dog shit job at it when you could do a good job doing the exact same stuff on another role? It doesn't make any sense. But it's because people are too scared to play core. That's the worst thing about these support players, is that they're too scared to have the pressure on them to actually have to do shit with their farm. So they just farm anyway, but feel like they don't have pressure on them to carry. So they just end the game farmed and useless. Whereas if you did that as a core, you couldn't say, well, whoopee doopie, I'm just a fucking support. Sorry, guys, my cores didn't carry. You can only do that from the support role. It's such pussy bullshit.
Yeah, I agree.
You shouldn't have got me started on this, man. I'm so sick of these people.
It's true,
it's
man.
It's the same attitude. It's such a bad attitude.
This is literally like potentially the worst plague on Dota since Jungle Legion Commander players. It really is. Because ever since they started making the support role more fun, quote unquote, we're not even talking about
everybody is a support now.
Everybody's playing support. They're like, I'll take one for the team, and then they don't take anything for the team. They take away from the team the whole game. Exactly, the whole game.
They don't do anything with it, and then it's like, well, I'm a support guys, gonna go complain on Reddit about how hard my role is.
They like buy the wards, and they just place them in the same 3 eye spots over and over all game. I bought the wards. Guess what? You spent 0 gold. 0. You did nothing. You actually had negative impact.
Good job, guys.
You had negative impact because you leashed experience. You farmed the jungle camps that needed to go to your cores. You sat in the fucking lane when you shouldn't be showing on the map. You fucking warded the same spots that get dewarded over and over and over because that's all you can think about, where to ward. And then guess what? You blamed your teammates when they didn't have any impact because you actually didn't fucking support them. So anyway, Pegasus.
Okay, so how can I improve his position? I'm honestly not a fan of the double glove of haste. I think that this is like building to right-click somebody, and PA has mischance, and they also have a dazzle who's going to put a spell on you that prevents you from like right-clicking them. I think this is not something you want to do. I would say you just get your early items, you get like your treads, you get like your Vlad's components, your Bassi. You just build for the mid game against this lane. I don't think you're going to be bashing the PA. I think you should be maxing sprint. I think you can have 2 points in the stun if you want for laning. I think you don't want to have 2 points in the bash.
Yep.
Everybody is maxing sprint right now.
Yep.
And I would highly recommend doing it. I played a game maxing sprint the other day, and it feels like a totally different hero. You can actually run around the map with the Windlace, by the way, which I think you should have. 33 always buys Windlace first, then boots. And then with sprint level 2, Windlace and boots, you're like 550 move speed. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
So make sure that you're doing these things, because this is what made it so that people started picking Slardar and winning with it on this patch compared to the last patch where everybody was maxing bash. It's all about getting the sprint maxed out now.
Yeah, also, I mean, let's look at their lineup for a second. You've got Void Spirit, who you can't hit ever in a team fight. There's Dark Willow, who you also can't hit ever in a team fight. There's Tusk, who can just snowball if you try to bash people. And so I think that this is okay. I think that the double gloves of haste is okay if you are against a life stealer or something like that.
If you're dumpstering, yeah. 33 will do max bash until the laning stage is over, and then max sprint. And then the last pointed bash, like maybe even the third pointed bash, doesn't come until level 16.
Yeah.
He will max stun and sprint first before bash, because it is a strictly laning ability. Look how the stun scales on bash. It's pathetic.
Yeah.
All you want to do on Slardar now is to sprint in at haste and move speed and keep stunning with your bash the guys that don't want to be stunned. And believe me, you'll kill them with right clicks and your crush damage. And the bash is still 1 second. It's still annoying for you to walk up and bash somebody. It still does a good amount of damage. You don't need it to do 300 damage, because if you don't have max sprint, guess what? You're bashing people once and then they get away from you because you're too slow.
Yep.
So the new way to play Slardar is kind of like a frontline tank, like a puck. You run in with Guardian Sprint. You hit the backlines that don't want to be bashed to death. And then, oh my God, they have to go on the Slardar because he's not going on the backlines. Guess what? You're building tanky. You're getting an Aghanim Scepter. You're getting treads. You're getting Vlads. You're getting pipe. You're forcing them to go on the hero that they don't want to go on. A hero that has an 8-second cooldown, 1 second disable, and 6 seconds slow. Like, this shit's insane. It's really good, but it all comes from maxing out the sprint and playing as if you're a frontline tank instead of playing as if you're like this bashing guy.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to add. I think that's exactly correct. I mean, for reference, in the qualifiers for LA, this was the most picked hero, and it was pretty much only played in the offlane. I think there was like a couple safe lane games, but it was basically only played in the offlane, and
Oh, he is maxing sprint next. Okay, interesting.
that was the build every single time. Max sprint.
Yeah, actually, I don't mind the build that you're doing now. I for some reason I assumed that you're gonna. This is actually pretty decent to like if you're gonna max sprint next. This is fine in my opinion. God, I said all of that, and now he's just doing doing the build.
Nope, he did another one in Crush.
Yeah, I would say it's all about getting that sprint maxed out. That ability is insane.
Yeah, so this is not the correct skill build. I agree.
Okay, I see. Yeah. You would like at this point, now that laning is over, your presence is like global. If you have max sprint, it's really ridiculous.
Yep. Item build. How do you feel about this?
Aghanim Scepter. Need the Aghanim Scepter. That's the broken item. That's the reason Slardar is a hero right now.
Yep. I think the Solar Crest is probably okay. They do have, yeah, okay. I was thinking they have a decent amount of magic damage, but I think that Solar Crest is actually better than a pipe this game.
You're watching Speed's Slardar build for abilities. Well, Speed's a Fortnite player, so I don't know what he knows about Dota.
Yeah, I would not watch Speed's content, to be honest.
Let's see.
All right.
Let me scroll down. I'm just curious. Oh, he's offline, but usually he's on Fortnite.
Is he really these days? That's
usually. Funny. Hey man, if that's his game.
Yeah, there's
he's the type of guy that like he could do whatever and he'll be fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nothing wrong with liking Fortnite. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I mean,
but don't listen to Fortnite players for Slardar builds. Listen
nothing
to
wrong
Slardar
with having
players.
Nothing wrong with having like extra chromosomes or anything, but you have to compete in a different Olympics. Is all. That's all I'm saying.
Whoa! All right.
Nice, Pegasus. Yeah, go feed. I would recommend trying Treads, Vlad's, Aghanims, and then Blink, or Treads, Pipe, Aghanims. That's like the build that people are doing right now.
Yep.
I'm gonna get more tea, man. I've had like 4 cups of this so far. Ugh.
I'm gonna wait on this one because it's Eddie Mercury, who is Jenkins's favorite person outside of maybe Hawkillionaire, or I guess his parents, I suppose. So we'll chill. I'm gonna read chat for a second. Where's the Wyvern guide? I don't know. Why would I even do that? Why would I even make a guide on Wyvern? You guys getting the joke yet? Should I repeat it a couple more times? Do you and Eddie have to fight for the death now? Yes. We would definitely like if you would stream that. It would be really nice to watch a couple of
our... Yeah, it was just about 1 liter of blood in my pee. Nothing more than that.
You missed my great joke.
I'm going to go ahead and unmute my mic here. Oh, hey, how's it going? How's it going, man?
Good. You missed my great joke.
Oh. Okay, well, I don't want to hear it.
That's fine. I didn't really want to hear about the blood in your pee either, so.
What?
We're going to go on to Eddie Mercury's replay.
Okay. All right.
You want to read what he said?
Yeah, I can go ahead and do that. I mean, it might have some problems, but it's okay.
I don't fucking care.
All right. Well, Eddie Mercury says,
the sooner you die, the sooner I get sole control over the channel. So
that is true. We should just like do a series on like plotting to murder each other. Then that would make good content.
Yeah, probably.
There There's something or some things that are in common with my other recent losses that caused me to lose, and I don't think it's just my attitude. Anyway, Treant 4 harassing AM felt hard, and I don't know why. This game went past 60 minutes, so maybe look at the big net worth swing in the middle of the game and see what happened. Maybe tell me if I'm wasting too much time on my own pushing instead of being with my team, setting up plays and such. Also, if it looks like I have the wrong idea of how to play Treant in 7.24, tell me. I used to spam him. He was reworking 7.23, and this is one of my first few games playing as him. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think I have a pretty good idea how to play Treant in 7.23 because
Is it?
I went over a bunch of replays with Ellie on this hero.
Oh, you're not being sarcastic. I thought you were gonna say it's to not pick it.
No, it's decent. It's pretty good. I think actually, it's not a bad hero. I mean, it was definitely better before, but
Yeah.
it's still good.
Landing against Bat is kind of lame. That doesn't feel very fun.
That's a hard one. Yeah, you kind of have to trade with Bat
Yeah.
for a while. Otherwise, he just destroys you. Bat's like a 0 armor hero, though. You definitely can bully him.
Yeah. Let your
You
Doom
want
handle anti-mage, and then you handle the Bat.
That was interesting.
I would almost say that against the Bat, you need to just go Leech Seed, actually. Even though that
Just so
ability's
you
kind
can.
of bad, it's like he's not going to stay in this long enough to make it good.
Yeah, maybe. Nice pull. Like the pull. I like this. I think this is very annoying what you're doing.
Yep.
I'm a fan. This gives me the warm and fuzzies.
Agreed.
Gotta be careful about the 4 stacks though. Batrider is quite the bitch.
Uh-oh, 5 stacks. A little spooky. Oh,
Oh,
breaking ankles.
He could get one more. He could get
Oh.
one more. Oh, he got it. Uh-oh, he's going for you.
7 stacks.
He should just take the W on Bat and just use it.
Yeah, flame break you for like 300 damage.
Yeah, pretty good. That's what a lot of support bats do.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of trouble landing these. So if I would say if you're not in this kind of like static laning stage where you're the winning team, generally you take this because what you want to do on this hero in the first couple of waves is you want to create a wall that the enemy hero, the enemy carry, has to farm in to be able to hit the creeps, and then you punch him while he's slow. And so you basically separate him from the creep wave with your Nature's Grasp. And if that's not available to happen, then it's kind of a useless ability at level 1 in the lane.
Man, I'm getting the feeling that like maybe you should honestly just go
Bottom.
lane bot, like
Yep.
just leave when the lane is pushed out because it's really hard for you to pressure the bat. At least like how it seems right now to me.
Yeah.
It's like I'm getting this gut feeling as I'm as if I were to play this game because we've watched this at 1x speed roughly. So like this feels like you're just gonna both not do well up here.
Yeah.
And maybe what like you did the pull, that's good. You got the lane in front of your tower. I think whether or not you're here, the Doom farms fine in front of your tower, and you can go like kill bot lane, or you could even like go fuck with mid.
I was just gonna say
behind mid or something.
I kind of feel like going mid is actually even better.
I gotta say, what's going on with these Nature's Grasps? They seem like very random.
It's because it's really hard to land them. You're against a blink hero and a bat who just can fly over them, like doesn't care at all. I completely agree. This seems like just wasted time. Most of the laning stage has been wasted.
I think you want to rotate away, and then when your Doom has levels, maybe come back. Like
Yeah.
you can take a little dip in the lane, take a dip bot, take a dip mid, do whatever. But this seems a little hard to like. Bat is just such a fucking hero, man. What a stupid hero. Bat 5 is really, really strong.
Yeah, it is.
I think Bat's a fantastic hero, just in general.
I mean, this feels like such a static, kind of just do nothing bad laning stage.
I mean, they're winning, which is cool.
They are. But are they? Because the anti-mage is farming quite well, and he's level 6. And he's about to get a kill.
Well, they're winning. They're winning the other lanes, which is good.
Yeah.
But not this one.
Yeah, I mean, I actually think that your play is to go potentially just like mess with the Ember, get him low, so
Get
Bloodseeker.
the Doom to be soloed versus anti-mage by having Bat rotate elsewhere.
Yeah,
Possibly.
even going bottom is a little hard because the Pangolier can escape, but you could also just go bottom and punch the Ogre, which completely nullifies the Ogre who wants to be bullying people.
Yeah, you can force the Pango's jump too with like Lich and Gyro hitting him, and then he jumps, and then you Nature's Grasp. Like, there's ways to play around the Pango. With 3 heroes, it's pretty easy.
Yeah. And then by keeping these heroes in the bottom lane super low, you also probably just default win mid even harder than it already was one, because you just have constant harass and people are low. But he wanted us to look at the.
Oh boy.
So I guess you were at 50 minutes. Is that what he said?
Let me see. This game went 60 minutes. Okay, so he wants to know if he was spending too much time pushing instead of setting up for his plays with his team. So we can just skip to, like, I don't know, one of these points where the game flips, which could possibly be because he's not there. Good night, Parody. Parody. That's what I like to say.
Is it?
Hmm?
Is that really what you say?
Oh, all the time.
Okay.
All the time.
Blink Dagger rushing Hex. Seems alright.
Okay. Yeah. What else do people go on Treant? I actually have no, like, Vlad's, shit like that.
Yeah, people go like Vlad's and Solar, and honestly, I think that Meteor Hammer is a waste, because if you're going Meteor Hammer, you should just go Ags, because it allows you to farm the lanes anyway. And you have Nature's Grasp to do that.
Well, Meteor Hammer is like chain lockdown too.
Meh. It's garbage.
Whatever,
it's garbage. You have to stand still to do it.
Oh, okay.
Trash item.
Damn, you're insanely farmed.
But we're about to take a big net worth swing downwards. So, all right, Bloodseeker gets going on. He dies. You guys trickle in. Kill the bat. No Hex usage on the Ember Spirit. Was he already BKB'd?
I would say, like, you wanna like try to, if they have BKBs, you always want to try to train ulti after the BKBs.
Yeah. Okay. So
that's a big.
He BKBs already, and then he dodged it with Sleight of Fist.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's good then. It just sometimes that happens.
Yep. Okay. So Seeker dies.
I would say that, like, when Seeker died, your positioning was quite useless. Like, you were just chilling on your side. And what you want to be doing is either A, you are pushing completely away from your team and making space and splitting the enemy team up, or B, you're sitting in the trees in front of your team, which is not only setting up, but allowing them to farm. So you want to be seeing the people that are going on your Bloodseeker before they actually go on him. So you could be playing bot and you could have soaked up that gank. That's a big thing, as well as, like, set up on people. Or you could just be pushing up top where you're making space that way by splitting people across the map. Those are, like, the 2 things you do on Treant. You're either standing in front of your team in the trees aggressively, playing at the perimeter of a farming zone, or you are basically making the enemy team come to the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, I think it's a really big issue that you have no vision in the enemy jungle at all. That seems like something that's completely your responsibility, because you're just invisible and you can get there very easily with Blink Dagger.
Well, you can also just put your body in there. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Play, like, I think you're standing behind a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Hex, the kill, the Aegis to the Anti-Mage.
We unfortunately did use a lot of abilities for that, so. But they have an Ember Dead for 60 seconds. It would be unfortunate if Anti-Mage comes in and cleans you guys up.
Anti-Mage cuts the wave.
Yeah, where is Bloodseeker at? What the hell is he doing? Why is he farming top?
I think he was responding to anti-mage, maybe?
You
Or
guys need to
I
be
don't know.
careful without your Bloodseeker. I would say get the fuck out. Oh
Yeah.
boy. Oh, 100 seconds. I think you just don't push that without Bloodseeker. This is
Yeah.
just a straight 4v4 and they have an Aegis. And you used all your abilities.
Yeah. That's the thing, is like, just because somebody important on their team is dead doesn't mean that you guys as 4 are stronger than them as 4.
There's plenty of objectives you can get on the map that's not pushing high ground. There are 2 outposts. You can get wards up in their jungle. You can control an area. You can push the waves in. Like, there's plenty of useful stuff, and you guys felt really pressured to high ground. And now your Gyro's dead for 80 seconds, which is very spooky.
Yeah.
Oh, now your Bloodseeker's dead for 80 seconds, which is very much even spookier.
Yeah, I think that moment right there is kind of just the end.
Dude, they have Lich Treant and Repair Kit. Fuck you. Oh, God. That's so annoying. Okay, now they're coming in. They're committing to you in your base, which I think is absolutely the play if there are 2 people dead. They're going on the Doom because they're dumb. They're not going on the Lich. I almost dies. No, okay. Yeah, they should have just killed the Lich, but such is life. That like blows the game wide open.
Hard to catch the Ember Spirit.
Timeless Relic. Oh boy, what an item. That's a good one.
All right, let's go to 50 minutes where the game actually ends, basically.
Degenerate combo. Yeah, I agree. That's an insane combo. Oh, so annoying. Treant armor should be removed from the game.
Nah, Treant armor's fine. Repair kit should be removed from the game.
I agree. They should both be removed.
Okay. So the Seeker seems to be just straight up griefing. He's like permanently picked off.
Yeah, that's not good.
You're splitting. I feel like you have to be high ground.
He doomed himself. No. Oh boy. Oh boy.
This is actually a pretty good question, I think. So he goes for the cut the wave right now. What do you think about this? Don't you think he kind of needs to be with his team? Like,
I think the creeps are going to be in your base regardless because mid wave is pushing in, bot wave is pushing in. You can like drop your spell and then just immediately TP.
yeah, because like you're 51 minutes into the game, you're level 26, you got a ton of damage on all of your heroes. Chances are 4 of you can kill 1 hero if they get out of position pretty easily, and then all of a sudden you have a pretty even team fight. So,
yeah, you just need your disables is all.
Yeah, I think you have to be here just for the chance that you guys actually are able to. Oof.
Oh.
I mean, honestly, even if you hex yourself to break that and then he dooms the anti-mage, you're in a pretty good spot, right?
Oh, BKB Pango. My god, what a world. Doom buys back, Gyro's dead for 6 minutes. You seem really fucked, but you're actually getting them out of your base because you're all there.
Yep.
So I think that just goes to show if you are together. Yeah, that's the thing is like on Tree, there's this like misconception that you should be spending all of your time split pushing, but it's like split pushing with the purpose of like eventually getting to your team. So if you have to be there or it's like good to be with your team, you want to be there.
Yeah, your hero is actually kind of an amazing team fighter.
You fight around the ulti. Like the ulti's ridiculous now. It does
Yeah.
a lot of damage with the Nature's Grasp. It's actually really ridiculous in the early game. And then in the late game, it's like the BKB counter. So
Yep.
that's obviously quite good.
Yeah. I mean, I think that this game is pretty rough based on how your Bloodseeker keeps dying. How insanely far.
Well, you guys should also be playing around that. Like, if he's farming in dumb places, go stand in front of him,
right.
like bait him and set up a good fight. Don't push mid when your Bloodseeker's not there. That's the thing. Is like, yeah, Bloodseeker should be there, but if your Bloodseeker's not mid pushing with you, you shouldn't be there either. It's on both of you.
Yep.
Like, you have to be on the same page. And if one guy's not going to move to your page, you need to move to his page because it's better than to lose the game.
Yep, I completely agree. It's kind of what we were talking about, my realization, which is that you can't expect your teammates to play well, and you have to read the game and play accordingly.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
All right. We're closing in on the 2-hour mark. Let's keep it going.
Okay. We got. I think we have a couple submissions. New submissions afterwards. Maybe we can just do those next week.
I think so. I think that's
Okay.
what we're gonna do. They'll still be good. It's a week, right?
Yeah.
All right, we've got Razor submitted by Pixie. Says, I played Razor mid. I think I did a decent job. How many fucking replay reviews start off like this? I think I did okay. And then we go watch it, and it's just like, what's going on here? So we'll see, Pixie. I'm going to start calling people out for that because it doesn't seem like very good analysis to me. I think I did decent, but something went wrong. Okay. Said, I think I did a decent job as far as farming for the first 15 minutes. I took the mid tower super early. I was looking to apply pressure before the PL got big to handle this game. Too big to handle this game. I think I could have made better moves around the map to apply more pressure and farm faster. We ended up taking a couple of bad fights and focusing the wrong heroes. Don't focus Necro. Duh. What would you have done to keep the snowball going and not throw this game? Well, that's a good question to ask when you're playing Razor, because that hero is essentially a momentum forward hero, and if you have any momentum backwards, you're probably going to lose.
Oh, yeah. GG. Super Mondo says, just had surgery. How can I improve during recovery? Drink lots of water and sleep. Get good sleep. So we're actually both medical doctors. So if you want to ask us any like medical questions, that's also acceptable.
Hey, give me 1 second. I just realized that I have a partnership call for a potential new sponsorship like now. So let me talk to them and say that I'll be ready in like 15 minutes.
Okay.
And this might be the last replay that we do.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Which partnership? Hey, chat, can you still see me? Let me go to the replay. Let me go to the review video stream, and we'll see if you can still. Oh, there, you can hear me. Oh, I'm small. Look at me. I'm small now. What's up, guys? How's life? You were watching high level pub replay yesterday. You saw the mid go for the enemy offlane bounty and then cut the mid wave. Have I seen this? I have seen that actually. I think that's really good. My hair is visible everywhere, man. That's the point. That's the point. Sponsorship call? I don't know any sponsorship call. I gotta go through her email. Oh, hey, what's up, buddy? Can you tell me what sponsor it was?
I'll type it to you.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good. Oh, okay. Cool. You know, if you alt tab, like there's a way that the camera will show the text, by the way. So maybe you want to delete that. Because I don't think Game Leap would like it for anybody to know.
That they're finally caving and buying sponsorship from us. Because
Yeah,
they realize
exactly.
that our audience is way cooler than theirs and they need more of
Yeah,
our people there.
100%.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
so let's go to Pixie. He's playing against a Invoker mid, okay. And Invoker
Yeah, there we are.
first blood on your Nyx, so thanks to the Nyx. Shout out to Nyx for giving your Invoker that you're playing against an advantage. Always nice. This is not my favorite lane to play Razor into.
What hero is it?
Invoker.
Yeah, I mean, it seems probably fine, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
It's Quasi-Exort, so it's probably not that bad. Invoker's kind of a useless hero.
yeah. I mean, you basically just like wait till you have a creep advantage. You link him, you run at him, you zone him off the creeps. You kill the Forge Spirit because, like we talked about earlier, if you're playing against a minion hero, you kill their minion. Nice job. Did it there. And then every time you have link up, you run at him. I would also highly recommend getting boots as quickly as possible in this lane because Invoker is slow as shit.
Oh god, yeah. On Razor, boots, Windlace. These are really important to get early.
Fuck your bottle, fuck your Wraithband, get boots immediately, and buy a dust potentially, and just like run this guy out of the lane every single time he comes up.
Yeah.
And when the lane's like this, just blast it with your plasma field so it goes into his tower and rebounds back to you so that you can continue to bully him out of the lane. I think if you play this lane statically, then you're losing the game because you're not taking as big advantage as you should of the fact that your hero should be able to bully him. And that's an issue.
Yeah, he's totally cool with the lane being like right in front of the tower.
Yep.
That's like the only place that he can survive against you. Jenkins, when are you live streaming? I don't know, man. Live streaming's hard.
Yeah. I
Don't
play
play enough Dota.
I probably play like about 60% of the player when I'm live streaming also. I'm like,
yeah, I don't know.
I'm much worse.
It is harder to focus. And then you need it, like if you lose focus, then it's like, oh, okay, I need to take a few days where I'm not live streaming to focus again. But then
And
then you're not live streaming.
Yeah, and then your stream followers are like, I don't want to watch this anymore.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, pretty typical mid lane so far.
Except for the bottle. Again, I think it's
Not a huge fan of the bottle on Razor.
I think it's boots.
Hello? Is your chapstick in here? Are you seriously still looking for your chapstick?
But I don't know where it is.
I don't think it's in. I don't know. Maybe. You see it?
What are you saying? What? What are you saying?
You know I'm still doing replay review, right? What the fuck, chapstick? Who cares? All right.
All right, so it takes tower with first catapult wave. That's cool. Like that.
That's good. Yep.
And now the question is, how do we continue to snowball?
Go into the enemy jungle, start farming it, run to top, take top.
You have this PL in like the aggro lane.
Definitely don't go into your jungle. You want to go pressure.
Do we want to go pressure this PL, or are we okay?
No, I'd say take the top area so that way when you do go pressure the PL eventually, like you have all top to farm, your carry can go farm top.
Okay. Yep, sounds good.
It's like hard to pressure somebody out of your safe lane. It's not a big lane. You like can't take the tower afterwards, so
yeah.
This seems to me very safe.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I would be okay with this if the lane was really static and you hadn't taken the tower and you guys were just kind of bouncing the creep wave off each other. Then farming the stacks is awesome because then you're accelerating more than the other person.
Well, I would also say if you're winning the other lanes and you've better late game, then yeah, it's like fine to play super static if you farm fast. But
yeah,
you're Razor, you want to go pressure, you want to use your advantage. They have PL, they have Necro, like they have really good late game heroes.
Yeah. Uh-oh. And those really good late game heroes are making the first move and rotating. That's not a good sign. This is good.
Nice. I think that could have happened minutes earlier, though.
I do, as well. It's not the end of the world, though. At least it happened. It's probably like 2 or 3 minutes too late.
Like, yeah, as soon as you take the mid tower, you can start roaming like that.
Yeah. I'd also look bottom. We're on your player perspective, and there's people literally diving your tower.
Your mid lane should probably be farmed by somebody else who's not as high level as you. Like, you have this power right now, and you have heroes who are useless because they don't have levels, and they should just be taking this free. You're taking the free farm. If you watched the I made a video on my channel where basically like there are contested camps and then there are free camps. And if you're strong enough to take the contested ones and you're taking the free camps, it's super game losing. And you're taking the free ones, and your team should be taking the free ones, and you should be taking the contested ones and running around and pressuring as much as possible because you're strong. But at a certain point, you're not going to be strong anymore, and you won't be able to do that. So you need your other heroes to be strong to enable you to continue playing the game.
Yep.
You know? So, yeah.
Okay, so I actually want to ask you what to do here because I find myself in this situation kind of often, even in my game sometimes, where I've made this rotation, I come down, I get a couple kills, and now my Morphling is still fucking here. Why is this guy here? He needs to go to the other lane. And we're super split up, and it's like the next objective is to take this bottom tower. Or
Yeah, I would say just go run at that tower with him and just try to force as many people there as you can.
force the enemy team to come defend it and then go top.
Yeah, exactly, something like that.
Okay.
Then Morph can like go top, maybe, or you can just go top. I don't know. It doesn't really matter that much. Depends on who can farm there. Did I just see a support over there? What the hell? That was weird. Never mind. Okay, that was weird.
Man, I'm seeing a lot of just kind of like solo, everybody's solo farming, which definitely favors the Dire team. Hardcore.
Yes, of course.
Oh, now our camera's here. We're TPing into this fight, which is happening near no objectives, which is happening for no reason. We're giving PL all the space in the world.
Yeah, you guys got to feel the pressure of this PL like free farming.
Yeah. So
now you've run at this tower, certainly.
Yeah. This is a good movement, but the last like 5 minutes have been extremely purposeless, is what it feels like to me. It's just kind of like you're hitting creeps, which is fine, but you're not actually getting anything done. I don't know. Don't you just dive the Snapfire immediately as soon as she shows? You're kind of playing
kill them.
Playing like a huge vag right now on Razor. It's like the same thing as like Undying, right? This hero, the entire purpose of the hero.
Keep going. Tier 2. Go tier 2, man. Don't give them space. They don't deserve space. Do not run back to your own jungle. You take their tier 2, you take over their triangle, you play on their side of the map.
Yeah.
There's always the inevitable retreat back to your own jungle. This is where you give people space that they don't deserve.
Yeah, you're losing the game when you do this. Just straight up, because it's like you didn't even take the tower, right? Why did you take the tower bottom? You spent all this time taking the tower bottom. 4 of you were there. You're giving up farm to take the tower. For what purpose? It's so you can take over the rest of their map. It's not so you can just take the tower and retreat and then go back to status quo of you guys have this half, we have this half, and you guys can just, do whatever you want. Like the whole purpose of taking towers is so that you get more map control.
Oh, nice. Killed that guy.
That's a big kill. Cataclysmed. Cataclysmed at 19 minutes. This guy went treads straight eggs. God damn. That hurts. I also wish that you'd bought some components of your BKB, because you just had a lot of unreliable gold sitting around doing nothing. And your inventory is looking awfully stacked. Let's sell the Wraithband, let's maybe sell the Clarity even or something like that, or put it in your stash. Put it on
I do feel like there's got to be a better neutral item than like a shovel for a core to have, though.
Yeah, let's check.
Like there's
oh, look at that.
There's stat items. There's net for Razor, which is pretty good. There's Imp Claw, which is an insane item.
Yep.
There's the stat item Morph has one though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say there's 4 tier 2 items and nobody's using them. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts. I mean, dude, honestly, even just take the Philosopher's Stone. I mean, that sounds dumb, but if it gets you a BKB faster, you already steal damage away from people. Why not?
I would say just take the Imp Claw, for God's sakes.
But
just
yeah,
take the Claw.
That's probably better. And now you're kind of running by yourself. I don't know. Oh, and retreating to the jungle to farm, because I don't know what else to do. And waiting for the creep wave to get here. And
you guys, all you need to do is aggressively take control of an area. That's it.
Yeah.
Like you need to take the map control that you have and actually do something with it.
Yeah. This guy's a diffusal blade now. He's going to kill me. And we turned it. Cool. But yeah,
got out.
You need to be like, all right, guys, this way. And you just go, you buy the wards, you put the wards here and here, and you just go, and you draw lines like this until your team walks there. I would probably never go back to the side of the map for the rest of the game. I think if you're ever going over here, you're losing. Here's the thing that I watched. I watched OG play probably 9 games this weekend. in qualifiers against some of the best teams in the world. And you know, the biggest thing that I noticed about them is that
They have Sumail now.
no, the other teams took in 8 games, literally in 8 games, the other teams took 2 fights on OG's side of the map. That's it. Every single fucking engagement was on the enemy side of the map for OG. It didn't matter where it was always in the enemy jungle. It was down here. The entire flow of the game for the enemy team was like, hey, let's try and leave our base. Oh, we're back here. Hey, let's try and leave our base. Oh, we're over here. Hey, let's try and leave our base. Let's go back this way. Like, literally, that was the entire flow of the game. It was just like trying to get out. Oh, and OG's making us fight near our tier 2.
Yeah, you just have to engage the cock flow.
Yep.
In the game. Just imagine a big cock on your map and just...
You want to go like this, you want to go like this, and you want to go right into their fountain.
Yeah, exactly. The old cock flow.
Yep. And you need to just be drawing that to your team. Tell them where direct their cock. You have to be guiding your teams.
You just grab it softly and gently and just maneuver it into the correct position.
All right. I'm going to call it there. Got to go do this call. Thank you guys for tuning into Replay Review. It's been wonderful to have y'all here. Everybody who didn't get the Replay Review, we'll try and get you first next week.
We'll do you first. Yeah, we'll do if you want to submit a replay, we'll do whichever one you submit. I just put the names down so we can keep it in like the right order.
Cool. Thank you, Secretary Jenkins. You're taking after your mom in a very great way. Since I'm the bomb and
I'm the super secretary.
Yep. And we'll see you next week for Replay Review. Peace out, everybody.
Peace.